What's up, guys? It's me, Iana Louise, the People's Advocate, and I'm here to add a new intro to a video I made like almost a year ago now, maybe 8 months, something like that. But it was pertaining to the popular streamer vaush, and he has recently been outed by himself in yet another scandal. I never uploaded the first video I made, but I think that I'm going to now. I'm going to attach this to that video because he's involved in another scandal, and this one has to do with I don't even want to say it, but PORN that does not involve ADULTS. Okay, and so that's disgusting, obviously, and it's so disgusting and so repugnant that it actually really minimizes the video that I had made in the first place. But I think that I want everybody to get a full-fleshed idea of who this man is, and if the first issue I recorded about was not enough for you to stop taking this man's social and political advice, hopefully this recent scandal is. vaush is a disgusting person. He is not good. He's not on your side. He is on his own side. He has gone from exposing his own CP to trying to gaslight his audience and anybody else that had questions about it, to trying to blame the trans community, involve them in this, has nothing to do with them. And he's even tried to go the Kevin Spacey route of trying to say that he's just not straight, or he likes big meaty. Nobody's worried about that, sir. Nobody cares. Nobody is concerned. Why were there depictions of children in your pornography stash? All of this coming after several clips involving him dissing people who watch the kind of things that he has now been exposed to liking to watch, and other videos of him saying that the age of consent should be lowered. I don't know why everybody was overlooking all of this other creepy shit for so long, but between the hypocrisy, the gaslighting, the dragging trans people in, the racism, the inability to apologize, the excessive attempts to manipulate all of us, and the actual product that he had on his hard drive, I just want you all to stop and think if this is the person that you want to take advice from. You want talking down to you on a Twitch stream or a YouTube stream, if this is the person that you want influencing the ideas that are in your mind. It's going to be a hard no for me, but I hope that the more that you all see this kind of stuff, the less influence vaush will have. He does not deserve influence. He does not deserve your adoration. He does not deserve your super chats. He needs therapy. He needs God. He needs a few good friends in his circle that will help him with whatever it is that he's dealing with. And I kind of believe he needs jail, but we're not about that on this channel. So I urge all of you to go and watch the breakdown that Ethan Klein and the Vanguard did regarding this whole situation with vaush. If you're not comfortable talking about it or thinking about it on your own, or if you're not sure what to think, I think that they did some pretty good breakdowns, honest breakdowns of why this is an issue without any context or any of the pro vaush arguments missing. The Vanguard did a good job of parsing through it, and what I found to be too charitable. Obviously H3 was a little bit more brutal, but there's no reason not to be brutal when a man is viewing CP. Okay, lying, gaslighting, and not backing down. And we all are just supposed to be accepting of whatever the hell he has going on. We're not, nor will we be. I used to be a vaush fan. There's no shade, but I think like the more information we get, the harder and harder it is to overlook. And there is no reason to overlook this. Not at all. He's disgusting. There's absolutely no reason for you to be trying to find some justification for this or some explanation that makes it all right or fine. It's not. When you find somebody viewing CP, whether that be animated, AI, whatever, what you're seeing is somebody who is attracted to children being in sexually compromising positions. We have a word for that. And I do not take political advice, condescension, or anything other from people who fit into that description. Okay? Nor should you. So, again, I just wanted to hop on and say to vaush with his racist pedophilic ass. And I wanted to log on and say to the rest of you guys, I hope you're peeping this shit. And if you're still rocking with this racist weirdo who likes to look at CP, I think maybe you should evaluate a few things in your own life and understand that you don't have to do this. It's a losing argument. It's a losing battle. It's not the hill to die on. Anybody who is getting off to depictions of children, that's deaded. You're wrong and you're bad. He did try to deflect. He tried to make it about being gay. He tried to make it about having trans people in his community. He tried to make it seem as if everybody's just upset about the bestiality, the animal rape. Okay? That's also concerning, especially that last one, but that's not what we're worried about. Again, it's the CP. And the gaslighting is not going to help you in this case. Okay? Because you've already discussed the concept that you've been caught with on stream in no uncertain terms. That it is wrong, that it is creepy, that it is something that people whose description starts with the letter P flock towards and utilize. So I'm gonna need you to stand on that, sir.
What is it about anime that attracts Nazis? In this case, it's literally the pedophilia angle. It's that anime has a ton of shit, and a ton of Nazis are hyper insecure in their masculinity, and they want like a trad wife or whatever, untainted by feminism, that they can control and manipulate because they have no other experiences. And anime is perfect for people with that kind of psychosis.
A few moments later.
You can see this is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to. What?
That's his own standard. He fell below it, and now he's trying to gaslight us all into thinking that he's all right and that it's normal. It's bad when they do it, but if I do it, then let me explain. Oh, and by let me explain, I mean let me lie, gaslight, manipulate, and deflect. He's crazy. So that's all I have to say on that one. And yeah, I just hope that you guys know. If you're digging vaush, if you're rocking with vaush, you're rocking with somebody that watches CP and is just straight up racist and is manipulative and is gaslighting everyone. So that's who you like, and maybe stop liking them. Maybe start to like yourself more so that you are not attached to somebody like that, and so that you do not need to get validation or be validated by being associated with somebody like that, because it's awful. Anyway, that's my 2 cents and a quarter. So I guess you guys are getting 4 cents and 2 quarters.
Quick maths.
Enjoy all of it. Don't spend it all in one place, and certainly do not send it to vaush, because he's probably going to use it to buy CP. Anyway, with that, enjoy.
What's your favorite type of crowd?
Probably an all black crowd. I'm not gonna lie to you. And that's really, it sounds petty, but I'm writing music from my black woman perspective.
Yeah.
Outside people who are not within that community and within that framework still like the music. So I'm blessed that people are supporting me regardless. But there's a different level of just comfortability that I personally feel when I am playing predominantly black crowds.
No, I lit like unironically, like go to Africa or something. Like if you don't want to see white people, like
I'm pissed. What's up, everybody? It is I, Anna Louise, the People's Advocate, here with some righteous fury on a beautiful Sunday, or whenever you happen to be listening to this. So yeah, I'm pissed. I'm just gonna hop into it. Yeah, I was minding my own business a couple weeks ago, as I am wont to do, and I saw a very popular streamer by the name of vaush doing his thing, you know, camera, microphone, chat, scrolling by him, talking, yapping away, giving his thoughts, and he came to one thought that is actually indicative of no thoughts. He might be stupid as fuck. He might actually have no brain whatsoever, and we've all been duped handily by this magician who's able to have an entire YouTube streaming career with no brain. And what thought is that? Well, unfortunately for all of us, vaush knows who Noname is. And if you don't, fortunately for you, you're about to. Noname is a popular artist, rapper, musician. She's not really up there, obviously, with the Beyoncés and the Megan Thee Stallions and all that, but she has a very unique style, and she's very aware. She's very class conscious, race conscious, socially conscious, and that is reflected in her music, which has led a lot of people to connect with it. I'll drop some links to her shit in the description in case you want to check her out. But other things that are reflected in her work: the N-word. She is black. She says nigga. I am black. I say nigga. Black people say nigga. Sometimes black people don't say nigga. It is what it is. But what white people shouldn't be doing is saying nigga. I mean, obviously, duh, right? But that'll come back up later. I'm gonna play this clip that exposes vaush for having no brain, or gives a lot of evidence to the theory that he may have no brain. And I will give some comments on the other side.
Noname was so titled and such a shit person that she like gave up on live performances because she hated seeing white people in the crowd. What the is wrong with you? Go, dude, go. I like unironically, like go to Africa or something. Like, if you don't want to see white people, like I'm unironically doing the love it or leave it shit. What the?
Yeah. So that was hilarious. What an idiot. It was infuriating more than it was hilarious. But vaush has the audacity to come out here and call her a piece of shit and entitled based on lies. vaush just lied. I don't know if he knows he's lying, but what he said is not true. It is not even reflective of half of what Noname said. It is a terrible misquote of part of something that she said, that if you actually cared about what she was dealing with and weren't racist and did have a brain, you may actually have had more thoughts than the ones that vaush had, which, as we saw, were go back to Africa, or go to Africa if you don't want to see white people. Brilliant take. What is it they keep saying about Elon? Masterful gambits. What the fuck are you on, bro? Are you racist? What are you talking about? First of all, there's white people in Africa, you dumbass boy. What are you on? Second of all, Noname never said that. She never said that she never wants to do live music again because she can't stand to see white people in the crowd. That didn't occur. So when you're calling her selfish, entitled, and a piece of shit based on something she didn't say, I just wonder, are those the rules of engagement now? Because if that's the case, you guys remember when vaush said he hates all black people and wants them to go back to Africa? Because what a piece of shit. One entitled piece of shit for saying something like that. Can you believe that? See how easy that is, vaush? You didn't say that, but it would be really easy for me to just say you did and then call you a piece of shit, an entitled piece of shit, based on complete nonsense that I just created. Completely taking you out of context in order to make myself and people who like me look and feel better. Fucking useless. And worse than useless on your part, it was racist. If anybody's actually interested in what Noname said, I can give you some information on that. Because unlike vaush, I don't actually gain anything from vilifying random black women, and I have no interest in pretending that they are racist or entitled or pieces of shit just for shits and giggles and streams and clicks. I'm not, and he shouldn't be either, but again, we are operating under the idea that he has no brain, and so this information might actually not even be helpful to him, but it might be helpful to the rest of you guys, so I'm just going to share it. A lot of you guys have probably already seen the facts of this matter, but in 2019, Noname popped up on Twitter and tweeted the following, and I'm getting all this information from an article on consequence.net. They do a lot of pop culture stuff, and they had a lot of reputable information, unlike vaush's stream. So in 2019, according to an article by consequence.net, Noname tweeted out a picture of a woman in clown makeup. The caption read, "Me consistently creating content that is primarily consumed by a white audience who would rather shit on me than challenge their liberalism because somehow liking Lizzo's music absolves them of their racist tendencies." The next day, Noname clarified her thinking in a series of posts. In one, she wrote about how other artists have more diverse crowds than she does. In another, she said, "What's funny is most black artists are just as uncomfortable performing for majority white crowds, but would never publicly say that out of fear and allegiance to money." And here's the important part, the part that vaush either conveniently left out or was conveniently unaware of, because either he or the circles that he's getting his information from are more interested again in vilifying black women than actually listening to them and adding context to understand what it is that they're expressing in an attempt to make the society more cohesive, not less. But she continued and said, "When I go to work, thousands of white people scream the word nigga at me, and I'm not changing my art, so it is what it is."
What's your favorite type of crowd?
Probably an all black crowd. I'm not gonna lie to you. And that's really, it sounds petty, but I'm writing music from my black woman perspective.
Yeah.
Outside people who are not within that community and within that framework still like the music. So I'm blessed that people are supporting me regardless. But there's a different level of just comfortability that I personally feel when I am playing predominantly black crowds. If it is a predominantly like white audience, it comes up. It comes up because there's no way for it not to. When I'm like, when my music is just driven by like black stories and just like black plight, it's hard not it's hard for me to perform and then not acknowledge the fact that the space is completely white.
Yeah.
But my art is so heavily trying to promote Blackness. I think it's really important to share your message and have your music be available and your art be available to the world.
Yeah.
But also for me personally, it's important to specifically push my messages to people who look like me as well.
Right.
Okay, so do you see how that's a little bit different? Like I said, Noname's work includes the word nigga, and she talks about a lot of really heavy subject matter in some of her songs. And I can understand her not wanting to climb on stage to perform for people who are actually oftentimes, as Vaush is showing in this exact moment, happy operators in the system that oppresses her, while also taking advantage of her and her art to say the N-word at her, to her, at her show. Black people do not want to hear you saying the N-word. They don't want to see you saying the N-word. They don't want to see you mouth the N-word. Black people do not want to be in a space where white people feel safe saying the N-word. Sorry, this is not rocket science. So if you were continually, voluntarily getting up on stage and placing yourself in that situation, it would then make sense that you're like, I don't know if I would like to do this anymore. It appears that my audience is predominantly white and not aware that they shouldn't be saying the N-word just because it's in my music, and refuse to actually take accountability when I point this out or other issues that I have with some of their behavior. Instead, they just point to their Lizzo discography or their Lizzo collection and they're like, well, I'm clearly not racist. Look at me. That's what Noname is trying to say. And for those reasons, she said years ago that she did not want to continue performing live. Okay? She says it makes her uncomfortable because white people are saying the N-word, and she knows for a fact that other black artists probably feel the same way, but it is not financially advantageous to speak on that. And I think by the fact that Noname almost virtually has no name, we can see that that's actually true. Now, whether you agree with Noname's feelings, I mean, that's a weird thing to need to agree with someone's feelings, but whether you see where she's coming from or not, this is just completely different than what Vaush allowed his commentary to be based on. She is saying that she is being racially attacked at her shows because, I'm sorry, but saying the N-word to black people if you're white or not black at all, that's violence. I'm sorry, okay? Now I'm the shit lip here, okay? But you can't just go around doing that. Like, for real. That's deeply, deeply traumatizing. So uncomfortable. And to have it chanted at you from words that you wrote, I mean, I don't know what, I mean, the dissonance, the cognitive dissonance that one might be experiencing if that were to happen. But I can see that Noname is clearly in touch with herself enough to see that this isn't something that she's comfortable with. So she said that she wouldn't do it anymore and then continue to do other things in her career, which include having a book club, being an activist, organizing regularly. I mean, this isn't the only thing that she does. And so it's context that matters. It kind of matters, because this definitely proves the fact that Noname is not racist. She doesn't just simply hate all white people, okay? She doesn't hate performing for all white people, and she certainly does not need to go to Africa where, again, there are white people, so she wouldn't. Anyway, clearly that's not even the case. But let's imagine really quickly that it were, that Noname did hate white people, that she didn't want to perform for them, and that's why she stopped doing live performances. I'm missing the part of that scenario where it then suddenly became okay to start telling black women to go to Africa. I'm missing that part. I can't find it. If somebody could help me and point out the part in that scenario where it suddenly becomes okay to do racist dog whistles or fucking straight up foghorns, telling black people to go to Africa? Are you smoking dick? I can't find that part because it doesn't exist, okay? Two wrongs do not make a right, okay? Two wrongs do not make a right. So in the event that Noname was dabbling in this very real and not at all made up reverse racism that Vaush seems so very concerned about, would his straightforward racism then be fine? Oh, you don't like white people? Well, guess what? Now I'm saying more racist things to you. Now I'm the reason you don't like white people. Not only is it not suddenly okay to just start saying racist shit at black people because they said that they had an issue with white people, but why are you suddenly racist? Like, I don't suddenly become racist when someone says something bad about black people. You know, and I'm black. I don't suddenly become homophobic or something when a gay person is rude to me. Okay, this isn't how that goes, okay? You don't suddenly just begin weaponizing other people's identities for your own convenience. Like, this is nonsense. There isn't a set of facts that would make what Vaush said okay. There isn't one. Unless somebody had a gun to his head and was like, hey, go on stream and say some racist shit right now. Or else, buddy. Because right now, the only evidence I'm seeing is that he has no fucking brain and that he's a racist. I'm not saying that black people should go around insulting bleach demons. I'm kidding. I'm not saying black people should just go around saying rude stuff about white people okay? But that's not what happened here. In this instance, Noname said, I am uncomfortable performing my music for predominantly white crowds because when I go to work, I have thousands of white people screaming the word nigga at me. So I'm not going to continue to do that. That is fine, and in no way means that she is selfish, entitled, a piece of shit, or needs to move to another continent. I don't know if I need to explain to everybody why it is racist to tell black people to go back to Africa, but I am just going to hope and pray that I don't, because I don't have the space or the emotional energy to do it. Look it up. Much like Vaush needed to do with the details of this Noname story, look it up. Everybody, just take a bit of personal responsibility, okay? If you're not racist, challenge yourself to be different than Vaush. Challenge yourself not to reach into your racist tool bag the moment a black person does something you don't like, okay? Now, for most of us, this will not be a challenge because we're not freaks. We're not racist, brain-dead freaks. But for the Vaushes of the world, I invite you to challenge yourself to try a little bit harder, okay? I know that that's a big ask, but if you could just not be racist towards black people at your earliest convenience, we'd all appreciate it. You have this massive ass platform, you have these impressionable ass minds listening and hanging on every word you say, and you decide to use that power to mischaracterize a black woman and tell her to go to Africa because you thought she said something that you didn't like. Right, okay. Well, Mr. Lefty, Mr. Ally, that's a very interesting way to show your allyship, and if that's how you do it, no thank you. Allyship denied. Your allyship request has been denied. You are not an ally if this is the behavior that you are going to have and exercise towards marginalized groups. Now, Vaush is never going to apologize. Not really his bag. If anybody has evidence of Vaush apologizing, please let me know. I will show you the leprechaun skeleton and the unicorn horn I have in my collection of shit that isn't real. But for real, no, that nigga's not sorry. He's a liar and he's racist. And I didn't make that up. He just told a black woman to go to Africa because she said some shit he didn't like, and I've had that happen to me in my personal life, and I can tell you right now, it's racist. It's not kind of racist, it's not cute, it's racist, okay? And so, if you're going to walk like a duck and talk like a duck, and if you're gonna do duck-like shit, I'm gonna call you a fucking duck, okay? And this is not Vaush's first offense, I've just been overlooking a lot, because who cares, right? Apparently nobody, but this is a bridge too far, alright? And we gotta start calling this shit the fuck out, okay, bro? You're not gonna sit up here and tell black women to go to Africa. Unchallenged, uncontested, no apology, and we're all just supposed to continue going on as if that shit didn't just happen. Nigga, did you just call me a nigga? What? No. This is a completely unacceptable behavior. Completely unacceptable behavior. And will there be consequences? Potentially not. I mean, unless he's overly attached to me tuning in, which I won't be doing, I would say no. There will not be any real consequences for Mr. Vaush. But what I would like to happen in lieu of that is that everybody just think a little bit harder. Stop telling black people to go to Africa when they are displeased with the state of race relations in the country that they were born in. And please, if you hear somebody saying some stupid ass bullshit like this, do not hop on Twitter or any other media platform. Please do not hop anywhere to start trying to defend and twist yourself in knots, doing all these fucking mental gymnastics for a nigga that didn't do any mental gymnastics or work at all to make this point. You up here doing the fucking mental Olympics trying to make this nigga not racist, and I got bad news for you. It's not working. No black people are saying this shit. Peep that shit. No black people are saying this. None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. All these white people coming out of the woodwork to try to tell us why some shit isn't racist. No, we'll let you know. We will let you know. That is how this goes, okay? All right? It's I'm sorry, but it's not up to you. Just like what Noname actually said, this isn't up to you. Now, you can continue to construct this weird land where you get to tell us what's racist. You can definitely do that, but I don't know who that benefits or why you would want to, okay? This statement is racist, and no lack of the word back, no fact about the demographics in Africa and the percentage of the white population. None of that is going to change that this is racist. We all knew what he was doing. He even says it at the end of the clip. He says it unironically, I am telling you to go to Africa. Please stop making excuses for this. Please stop trying to carry water for this man. He's not even saying it wasn't racist. He's not even defending himself. He just moved on. He just has not addressed this, and I doubt that he ever will. But I don't need to see people who also want to identify as comrades, allies, etc., hopping on here and trying to tell black comrades what is and what is not racist. Again, we will let you know. Tweeting shit like this is stupid. It makes you look like you have as many brain cells as Vaush, and we just did a very, very detailed breakdown into why he probably doesn't have any at all. So break that mold, get out of that loop, okay? Allow yourself the humility of not knowing. Like, say you didn't actually know that it was racist. Okay, we're telling you it is. Now stop defending it, okay? And if you're actually interested in not being racist, then you can go look up why it is racist instead of trying to tell black people why it is actually fine. It is not. Okay, I'm getting sweaty. I'm getting angry. Vaush, fuck you. You lied again to your audience. You completely misrepresented a black woman for nothing but your own convenience, and you said a bunch of racist shit, and now you're not even addressing it as the world continues to turn. So if that's what it is, then that's what it is. I wish you a very hearty fuck you until I hear an apology. I'm not being nice. That was racist. I fucking hated it, and fuck you until you apologize and take accountability for the bullshit that you're spewing into millions of people's ear holes. All right, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be my 2 cents and a quarter. I have to go. Unfortunately, I have to go to Africa. I'm just so sick and tired of all these goddamn white people. Bye.